finding these and when?
Okay, about 1972, the Texas coast, my entire family. And we read an article in the Chronicle about these Johnstone brothers that was finding fossils on the Texas City Dike. And the first fossil we found was half of an elephant tooth, but we couldn't find no one to tell us what we had. So by researching in books, we finally figured out tooth. And 5 years later, we found the other half of this tooth in the same general area.
My brother had found this one when we first started, and about a couple of years later, I found the other half on the beach, on the same beach, and went together.
So that kind of started us on the road of hunting these fossils, and it was a challenge to figure out what we had. And this area seemed like it was in such a great variety of animals that pretty well all of the Pliocene animals was here. And I believe if George will hold up some of these, both of the elephant, the mastodon, we found about 3 real nice teeth, and the mammoth, which was, so this is a fairly young animal. Here we have a lot of other larger pieces. Most of the time you just find plates of this tooth, but it's lucky to have a whole one here. And of course the horse, which the Indians had supposed to wipe them out, and it's the same horse that we have now. This horse was quite plentiful here. And on the dike, it seems to be one of the most plentiful animals because we find more. This is a horse jaw, 4 teeth that come off a recent mound. And of course the bison or buffalo was also quite plentiful. And there's a jaw with 3 teeth in it.
It's a lower jaw, lower mandible.
Individual teeth. The camel, which we had here also, was represented in almost, I think, 5 species. And most of these are just individual camel, which is called a camelops, which is a larger of the camels, has a real huge tooth. The deer was quite plentiful also. We have a couple of small deer jaws. He hasn't changed any in 10,000 years.
Pretty similar to the modern deer.
And of course his cousin, the pronghorn, was also here. He's got a long, skinny type tooth. There was also a mule deer, which I have just a part of an antler off of him. The alligator, also another species that was here, he has one of his jaws and his teeth. They usually come out pretty well when they go through this dredge. Most of this material is broken up because they dredge the ship channel, and approximately 45 to 50 foot, and then it was redeposited behind the dike. Action will wash these animals out. We have some turtle. They were probably one of the most plentiful. We have box turtle, plain tortoise, soft shell turtle, and some of the
Plains tortoise.
most of them are just broke up, but they're all identifiable pretty well. We had some large water animals. Camel's teeth are in plates similar to the mammoth, and usually they're pretty well broke up. This is a whole tooth, which we were lucky to have, and I think George has one at home that has a jaw on it.
You want to rotate that around a little bit? Let's see all the sides of that one.
This is something like a You think of a radiator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they are still down in South America. They were thought one time to be extinct, but this species is in South America. And the tapir, which was another large water animal, his teeth almost looked like miniature mastodon teeth when they're wore down. And I've had a couple people tell me that. So the carnivores was quite plentiful here. I don't think we have a dire wolf tooth handy, but the dire wolf was here. The saber-toothed cat was also here. The bear, the short-faced bear, was here. We only have a toe bone off of him, but I know of one tooth that has been found. The armadillo, which they talk about the giant armadillo, he was here and probably about 4 to maybe 5 foot tall, and it's big around. He has very big plates. All he have is the what they call scoots that come off of him, and then he has his cousin is a glyptodont, which you see with a spike. The scoots on them look like daisies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can get a close-up of that, or you want.
I've got it on close up
Okay.
right now. Yeah, it's coming in
Okay.
good.
They look like daisies. There was a giant ground sloth that roamed here. This is an exceptional large tooth. He was quite large.
You want to hold that up along with your hand so we can see, compare your hand with it, because that's really phenomenal.
And here is a smaller sloth tooth. This one was probably 7 or 8 foot tall, but this other one, he was 10 to 15 foot or better. So he was a large sloth. I have one of the few remains of a rabbit. It's just part of a leg bone off the rabbit. Most of the other animals, they were also represented here. The gar seemed to be quite plentiful. We have a couple of manatee rib bones, which I'll show you one in a little bit that has been worked on. And of course he's been extinct around here a long time. Have we missed any?
Well, I found also one whale vertebrae from there. That's unusual.
Whale?
Whale vertebrae. And we also one snake vertebrae has been
Yeah,
found.
he's got a snake vertebrae.
Snake vertebrae.